We know actor Tony Danza as a beloved television superstar from shows like Taxi and Who's the Boss? Well, now Suncoast audiences can get to know Tony in a different way as he performs a one-man cabaret show at the Sarasota Opera House this weekend. And we are thrilled that Tony stopped by to talk to us today. Welcome, Tony.
Good morning.
Oh,
good
this
morning.
is so thrilling.
So nice to see you, Linda.
This is a first for Sarasota to have you here.
Well, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone because it's like the view only here. It's weird.
Well, good. That's what we're aiming for. So that's a good thing. Well, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Your show is called Standards and Stories.
Yeah, so right away, I just want
Yeah.
to tell you, I just heard you say that Tony Danza's at the Opera House.
Congratulations.
Tony Danza's at the Opera House. You're like, what's wrong with this picture? That doesn't sound right. I didn't either, you know. Yeah.
Are you singing?
Yes, the act is a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, a lot of jokes, a lot of stories of it's standards and stories. It's pretty self-explanatory. And it's something I wrote and I've been playing, and it's been well received, and it's so much fun to do. We got a great band. John Otto is our music director, and he played for Rosemary Clooney. So it's really an honor to be with the guy. He's just terrific. He arranges all the songs, and the other three schmoes have been with me for almost 20 years. Because I've been out there doing, this is one of those things that you. Unless, much different than when I was younger. When we were younger, there were variety shows. You'd go on the variety show and do your act, you do your stuff. There's no place to do that, really. So you're out there in the countryside doing it. Sometimes you're playing an opera house. Sometimes you're singing a ballad as the roller coaster goes by. But that's what. But I really love to do it, and so we have a lot of fun with it. And that's really the thing you learn over time is that you can't go up there to succeed. You can't go up there to have somebody else see you, maybe get another job. You just go up there to enjoy the gift you're getting, that you're allowed to do it, because everybody else would like to do it.
Yes, they would.
And just have the best time you can, and then when you do, the audience does as well.
And those variety shows used to weave the great storytelling in with songs, and you would really get to feel like you spent time with the host.
It's exactly what I'm doing. It's exactly what I'm doing. I talk about some personal stuff. I talk about a lot of professional stuff, and I weave. The Great American Songbook. It is. It's really a revelation. I got a joke in the act. I talk about today's music. I say, I don't know what these kids are going to have to hum. But anyway, there's so many songs, and aside from the great melodies, the lyrics are just something that is so easily woven into a story to enhance the emotional hook and stuff, and I get to do it, and I get to sing some of my most favorite songs.
Who were your musical influences?
Well, I talk about this in the show. I really didn't have any. When I was a kid, I never really saw an instrument. I used to do a bad joke that I was brought up by the Taliban, but it's like I said, it's a bad.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. But it's a bad joke. But I really didn't. I didn't. And I wasn't really interested. And then my mother, one day my mother says to me, as we were cleaning the house in the morning, I wanted to listen to a Frank Sinatra album. And she played this Frank Sinatra album. She constantly told me about it. And I do this story in the show, and I'll do just a little bit. She said to me, listen how he sings this part. And I listened, but I watched her. And she was so moved. And you're 9, your mother freaks out like that. You go, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It was a crazy moment. And I appreciate that I didn't appreciate him as much as she did at the time. But when I was in the 11th grade, Strangers in the Night came out. Frank Sinatra had the #1 song in the country. The Frank guy my mother liked had the #1 song.
The Frank guy.
And to tell you the truth, that doobie-doobie-doo thing at the end, really, I like that.
Well, I want to brag on your show for a second, because the New York Times said, and I quote, that you exude the kind of charisma that cannot be taught. And is it freeing for you to be able to be off script and kind of be with the crowd as opposed to some of the scripted stuff you've done in the past?
I just finished doing a TV show for Netflix. Pretty soon we'll all be working for them. But, watch out. It's very, very, very. You're tied to it very, very closely. A lot of fun. It's called The Good Cop, by the way, with Josh Groban.
Yes.
Wait till well, he's going to surprise a lot of people. But anyway, so but this I get to be up there, and like I said, a lot of this stuff is stuff that I always wanted to do. Like I got a review in the New York Times once where a guy said I was like a kid singing to his relatives in the living room, you know, because that's what it's always been like for me. Because I used to do that when I was a kid. So this is it's an extension of something that I really enjoy.
It's so great for the audience when they walk out from that and they feel they know you. They feel what you were feeling.
Well, cabaret, if you're really doing it right, is about making a connection with the audience, because it's such an intimate, you know, it's an intimate show. I haven't been in the Opera House. I can't wait to see it. I'm going there after the show today to see it. So but that connection is what I'm really going for.
Do you do a Q&A with the audience?
No, I do a meet and greet afterwards, but it's a performance. It's not audience participation. You know what I mean? I heard a guy say once, "Hey, I work alone."
But they can feel like they've spent some time with you after. Now, all right, so most of everyone knows you, of course, from your great TV career, but being on stage is not foreign to you. You starred on Broadway in Honeymoon in Vegas. You starred on Broadway and in Vegas in The Producers. So do you have a preference of cabaret versus scripted musical?
I just, you know, well, first of all, being in a musical, there's nothing like being in I did The Producers on Broadway. I just wanted to explain something to you. By the way, I played Max Bialystock. I played the heavyset Jewish guy who says I have no range. Anyway, it was the most fun job you've ever had. I mean, it's totally exhausting and challenging, and yet, you know, you're part of this incredible operation that starts something at 8 o'clock and finishes at a certain time, and you have to be there every step of the way. And if you just saw the backstage choreography, it would knock you out. So there's a tremendous thrill to that. But what's great about this whole thing is I get to do all this stuff. Like I said, just finished shooting a show on the streets of New York. I'm going to sing at the Opera House. I've been on Broadway. Quite a life.
Oh,
I really, you know, I struggle with. I'll tell you what I struggle with. I struggle with how lucky I am. I mean, I'm scared that something's going to, the other shoe's going to drop.
We're very lucky because I think you did bring.
I did bring Lucy.
ukulele.
Yeah, I brought so I used this in the show. In fact, you know what I brought? I brought today's thought for. I'm hooked on this calendar. And, you know, it's the thought for the day, helpful hints, whatever it's called. Life's little. I don't know. Anyway, so actually, my ex-wife bought it for me a long time ago, but I keep doing it.
This is good.
So today, but it has something to do with the ukulele. But just so I'm just gonna. Today's thought for the day. Here's May 1st, so you can see May 1st, right? May
You're not
1st.
kidding. Okay.
Don't go to bed with dishes in the sink. All right, there's a good one. That's a good one.
A metaphor for love.
Yeah. One day it said something about a ukulele, and it got me here. So what I try to do is try to adapt the American songbook to it. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm weak and maybe I'm strong, but nevertheless, I'm in love with you. It's early.
I've got tears in my eyes.
Wow. You do not want to miss the cabaret show. Tony Danza, Standards and Stories. It is for one night only at the Sarasota Opera House on May 4th. You want to get your tickets soon. They are going fast. You can go to the Sarasota Opera's website, sarasotaopera.org. Coming up next, we have a preview, another great show you want to see, Ruthless the Musical.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.